Hello, my friends. November 2022 Energy Report. There is something that happens when people move beyond the awakening stage into awareness and acknowledgement. Their initial awakened state of anger turns into empowered purpose. If they can move beyond the anger, and they have extreme clarity where they were once blind to a situation, this kind of awareness is a gift of awakening, and it carries with it the knowledge that once awakened, you never go back to sleep. That is why so many people hesitate to set foot on the 4D bridge, because they know that on stage they can never return to full 3D ignorance, illusion, density, and limitation. For some that is a blessing, for others it is the very reason why they are more than happy to stay in the darkness and density of 3D. See my article, it's getting crowded in the 4D bridge. As I say, once you set foot on the 4D bridge, there is no turning back. Well, here we are, and it's definitely full speed ahead, even though November opens with aspects that may be interpreted as requiring us to slow down, reconsider, refresh, and pause, but that is not how I feel at all. The ghost sign in our lane, and we have a lot to do. The message of November is warriors, stand and rise. We are warriors for the light. We don't have to fight with swords and arrows. Our energy toolkit contains the light, and energy frequencies that can dispel any dark force. It is our imperative to rise to the perils and challenges of 3D and engage with our own karmic battles. This is the fight of our lives, and it is the fight that we have lived to fight for millennia. Our imperative to stand is to be energetically sovereign, to engage with our divinity, to strengthen our energetic being, and become divine humans. Our imperative to rise is to see each challenge as a chance to raise our vibes, move up the ascension spiral, to shift the energetic frequency and vibration of our life path. Are you ready to engage your warrior spirit? It is within you, and always has been. Your fear of doing harm prevents you from fully activating your power. But know that you cannot do harm to others when the battle is between light and dark. Light does not harm the darkness. It merely converts it to light. November is an 11th month, and this month's numerology value is 8. The sign of infinite wisdom and creativity and repetition. The energy of 8 reminds us of the endless cycles of the universe, which can be a source of comfort and guideposts for karmic choices, or they can become our energetic prison. If we get lost in the lesson and never reach the release of enlightenment, we begin November in an eclipse window between two powerful eclipses, October 25 and November 8, and with the Mars retrograde, which I believe is an excellent aspect for this period given its sign and complementary energies. Some people say this is a time to slow down, reflect, and delay action. Not at all. Instead, it's time to clear the decks, to get rid of long-standing, no longer useful attitudes, beliefs, and connections. Mars will give you the energy to act, and with the retro in Gemini, the sign that rules karma, you will get a glimpse into the karmic cords that have been your source of limitation, grief, pain, and suffering for many lifetimes. Additionally, Mars' square Neptune, which some astrologers claim will be a source of delusion and confusion. I disagree, because the opposite is true. Instead, the Mars-Neptune square is going to dispel delusions, bring clarity to confusion, and crack open the illusion of realities that are fueled by visions, hopes, and expectations. It is going to get us off of the hope merry-go-round and put our feet firmly on the grounded reality of who people really are, and use our discernment to make the best decisions about our relationships and connections. How much of what we hang on to is supported by our hope of one day, soon, and maybe things will change? How often do we give to others at the cost of our own joy, peace of mind, peace of heart, and abundance? What is the reward we think is coming to us when we heal, save, or uplift others? And the big question we need to ask ourselves when we serve them in this way is, what is our reward? How do we benefit from this? And are we receiving the benefit or waiting patiently for it, and have been for a long time? The big energy focal point in November is the November 8, 2022 eclipse, which mirrors one from November 8, 2003, and prior to that, November 8, 1984. This powerful eclipse includes some very big energy aspects, including a direct opposition from 𝗪𝗔𝗧𝗖𝗛𝗔𝗓𝗏, Uranus, and an opposition from all of the personal planets, Sun, Venus, Mercury, and the double short of Mars, currently in Scorpio. Now, here is the interesting part. Mars is retro in Gemini, but it's the historic ruler of Scorpio, where Mercury is currently in transit. Mercury rules Gemini, and with these planets in each other's signs, an aspect called mutual reception, they are much more powerful, and their energies are perfectly aligned. They work together in each sign to augment its areas of focus. So, with Mars heightening the energies of Gemini, expect more karmic revelations, more choices and decisions to end and release karma, and a more clear and focused approach where you may have previously been undecided or afraid. And with Mercury, the Gemini ruler, in Scorpio, expect to get to the root of the karma, the undeniable truth, and the power to transform your path. Note, I did not say change the other person or heal the connection. That could be a possibility. But first, we need to divorce ourselves from these karmic roots and stop the karmic cycles. We can do that in November, and if you have followed me since I began writing and channeling in February 2004, you know that I have been saying since the beginning that this is the lifetime we will use to end our karmic connections. And here we are. Do we have the courage to free ourselves from karmic entanglements? Do we have the courage to move out of our treaty karmic energy prisons into fiery freedom? The choice is ours to make, and we have all of the energy tools to do it. Now, also at the Jupiter-Mars connection, which I wrote about in October's articles. And you get another layers of support for Mars during this full moon period and through most of November. This is a triple whammy to being stuck, unsure, anxious, and in the doubt. Mars is the action planet, and while it may act in haste at times, its drive and determination allow it to move fast, recover quickly, and restart without getting depressed, angry, and keep on tracking. All of you who are Aries, me included, know what I am talking about. If you remember in previously published energy reports, I talked about the power to the people movements, and this November energy falls into that category. This is about ascension and the 5D paradigm, not revolution. We do not need to go back where we came from and rehash old energies. We want forward movement, expansion, growth, and new potentials. We want to rise to the next level, to expand our energy. But we want to do this process with attention to both sides of the manifestation equation, intending and receiving, being a good steward of our time and energy as well as supporting our own healing, growth, and joy. We need beauty, light, joy, and prosperity in our lives. We need to feel good, to be happy, to be in joy, and to enjoy life. As we move harder into ascension to point zero, which began in January 2022, our fear about not completing our mission is diminishing, as it should. We need to worry less about whether we are failing and to be more concerned about creating the new 5D paradigms, where 3D is the done for you dimension of density and karma. 5D is the bring your own paradigm. There is a create as you go exploration of new potentials and their possibilities. If any part of our lives is out of congruence, out of balance, and if we are out of alignment with our energy inflows and outflows, where we are giving more than we are receiving, we'll get a pay attention alert so we can address it. These energy drains are not so big that we notice them, and we are so used to giving our energy away that we do not consider other options. But the truth is that we have so many energy drains that we are leaking energy out as quickly as we receive it. Do you ever wonder why you feel stuck and can't seem to make progress or move forward? Well, if you are leaking energy with the commitments and obligations you have taken on, and your own doubts and anxiety, you are pouring energy into a container with big holes in it. November is a time to plug up the energy drains and limiters and to get rid of the energy baggage. We have to go sign in our lane, and we have things to do, places to go, new dimensions to visit, new paradigms to create, and many other things that demand our full energy, time, and attention. And we need to look at our commitment focus. While we are very happy to commit to others, we need to start making a commitment to ourselves. I am often surprised when I ask clients what they want in their lives, that they cannot answer me. They simply do not know. It isn't something that they pay attention to or feel rewarded for. In fact, it is not as rewarding to them as doing for others. They are externally validated and need that feedback from others, that they are good enough, worthy, and deserving of love when they are giving to others. The spiritual pilgrimage energy from September continues in November, and it would help to remember that the path of spiritual initiation begins with awakening and ends with enlightenment. We do not get to skip any steps, but we do have some control over how quickly or slowly we go through the 5 steps on the path of spiritual initiation. This is not a punishment from the universe. It is how we reconcile our learning and healing and ceasing. But the fun of November doesn't stop there. We have a final pass at the lovely Jupiter-Neptune conjunction. There is not exact this month, but it's close, since it happens every 151 years. We won't see this aspect again in our lifetime, so let's make the most of it. This is highly spiritual aspect with a strong signature of divinity and spiritual awareness. In the past, this aspect has always preceded a global spiritual awakening, and it is now too. Look for a greater desire for truth and peace, for alignment and spiritual awareness. People who have never spoken to you about spiritually focused topics before may be dropping hints or boldly asking that they want to know more. On the other hand, people you were not sure about and whom you had hoped would become more spiritually aware may give you the final rejection notice. That's okay, because it is time to share your energy with the people who need and want it and to ignore the people who do not. Remember, acceptance is not tolerance. It is accepting others' behavior as their choice. Even though we do not agree with it, say okay, I get it, and then move on. We have other things to do and new paradigms to fill with our light and joy. The energy dams in November are distraction, discernment, and determination. They will play out all month. As we continue our steady rise up the ascension spiral, let's look at them. Why would distraction be an energy dam? Don't think of distractions as life's temptations that take us away from a bigger purpose and tempt us away from our mission and purpose. Instead, look at distractions as side streets, detours, and alternative tangents to the path we are on. They are less distracting than they are crossroads of choice, allowing us to choose your frequency and vibration and make decisions about the kind of life we can envision for ourselves. Our path and our possibilities work together. We cannot create a possibility from a potential that we cannot imagine being part of in our life. Distractions can be an alternative solution when we are afraid and anxious, an easement into less challenging path if we are unsure, or they can provide us with confirmation that we are ready for a new paradigm. When we use the distraction to solidify our intention, discernment is the ability to critically analyze a situation and then use our observations to make choices and decisions. To use discernment effectively, we must have energy boundaries, priorities, standards, and intention. With discernment, we make decisions about what is right and best for us, what is the highest and best path, what learning we need, and when it is time to stop, let go, move on, and move up. We often use our discernment abilities to make decisions about what is going on with other people. We make decisions about how happy, aligned, and abundant they are, and then we use these judgments to determine how we are going to act on their behalf to help, heal, and return them to wholeness. Instead, our discernment needs to be focused on us and on our life path. What helps, heals, and returns us to wholeness. Determination is the path of intention, purpose, and completion. When we are determined, we know that what to do, how we are going to do it, and we won't let anything stop us from achieving our outcome. While determination can be detrimental when we do it without discernment, it can certainly help us find the motivation to act. When used with intention, determination removes energy drains, limits the effects of our limiters and limitations, and allows us to focus our energy with laser precision. This is what helps us take that next step when we are so tired, drained, and risk losing our moyo. Our light feeds our determination, and so does the knowledge that this time will succeed and will bring ascension to treaty. We are already well along that path, and this time we are not doing it alone or with a small, lonely band of light warriors. This time we are not running the Ascension Marathon. We are participating in the Ascension Relay Race and have a host of co-rates, determined partners to participate in the process. November's new moon on the 23rd is at one Sagittarius, which may seem somewhat anticlimactic after the November 8 eclipse, but it isn't, because once again, we have a power to the people movement with both Mercury and Venus powerfully aspected with this new moon, bringing in the depths of justice, higher thought, and divine love. This brings up a topic that has been weighing heavily on me for several years, and it is the number of dishonest, unethical people who provide a wide variety of services ranging from business to spiritual healing. I have been the victim of some of these unethical people who have unfortunately decided that my content is so good they'll just use it as their own. A few have deeply regretted that decision as a publicly named them, and that knowledge has destroyed their reputations and their businesses. I have no mercy for them, and I am not sorry to see them go. Christine Kane can take note here. She is the one I name in all of my copyright statements, because she stole so much content from me that I could not even use my own words and ideas in my business, as she was stealing them and selling them to her customers. That kind of unethical, dishonest, illegal behavior is rampant on the internet, but it won't be for long. I have heard from some of you who are disappointed in teachers you have followed for a long time, who are now pushing expensive modalities and programs on you because they think you need it. This is unethical. Please use discernment and be careful when engaging with people who say they can heal you, make you a better person, get rid of your problems, help you find your life purpose, turn you into alpha whatever, and who charge thousands for their programs. Research their reviews and what others say about them and their experiences. Choose your resources wisely, because you deserve to get the information and energy tools you need, and not engage with people who cannot help you but who spin a lot of fairy tales and vaporware as they pick your pockets with their magic wands. This month we are going to start seeing the takedown of many of these people, including some of the big names you may be hearing about. No one who's deliberately peddling false hope, fairy tales, and preying on the pain, suffering, and woundedness of others is going to last long. Expect this to last through January, but I would not be surprised at all to see a lot of these teachers taken offline for a variety of reasons, including legal action. It is time to rise and shine, but in our case, we have to shine before we can rise, and start seeing ourselves as unique, iconic, and out of the ordinary. We have spent too much time in the ordinary box. Let's see what we can expand into when we allow our warrior energy to rise and stand for our joy, peace of mind and heart, love and abundance. Have a wonderful month. Channeled by Jennifer Hoffman.